Judd has been a stalwart in terms of justice for people, in terms of fairness, and in terms of the toughness you need. You have some pretty tough situations. It doesn't get much tougher. So I just want to thank Brandon and all of the folks. I'm going to have them introduce themselves right now and also say a few words about the wall, about, you can call it a barrier, you can call it whatever you want, but essentially we need protection in our country. We're going to make it good. The people of our country want it. I have never had so much support as I have in the last week over my stance for border security, for border control, and for, frankly, the wall or the barrier. I have never had anything like it in terms of calls coming in terms of people writing in and tweeting and doing whatever they have to do. I've never had this much support, and we've done some things that, as you know, have been very popular. So I'm going to ask Brandon Judd to just step forward and say a few words. This group has apprehended last year 17,000 criminals trying to get across the border. 17,000.
And with that, I'd like to introduce Art Del Cueto. He is the Vice President of the National Border Patrol Council. He's also a longtime Border Patrol agent out of the Tucson sector, and he'd like to say a few words about the shutdown.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Once again, my name is Art Del Cueto. I am Vice President with the National Border Patrol Council. I want everybody to take the time to understand what's going on. We are all affected by this shutdown. We have skin in the game. However, it comes down to border security.
A call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. A lot of people messaged me about this. I saw the channel High Impact Flicks talk about it, and I mean, I pretty much have to talk about it, right? Get a load of this. I mean, the balls on some of these people, right? Art Del Cueto, the Vice President of the National Border Patrol Union, right? Another Mason playing his role, and gotta get this wall up, right? Because remember the Mason motto, order out of chaos, right? Divide and conquer. Standing next to Donald Trump, wearing his Freemason pin right on his coat, right? Proudly displaying his Freemason pin because he doesn't care. Some of these guys really don't care. They know that they're probably in untouchable positions. And this isn't the first time that Del Cueto's done it. You know, he's wearing it on Fox News openly. He's wearing it on other Fox News programs because I guess he speaks on Fox News a lot. Again, playing to the left and right. And for people out there who support Trump, and continue to think that I support Trump because I have a channel like this, I don't support any politician because they're all in it together. Okay? That's my take, at least. Okay? You don't have to agree with it. If you want to be naive and think that these people have your best interests at heart and that all the things they control, your vote counts, feel free. Okay? I tend to not live in the naive bubble of putting my hope in a guy with a toupee on his head or whatever it is. Or anyone else, for that matter, except for Jesus Christ. So, Trump's standing right next to the guy, right? But you'll have, see, that's part of the thing, right? With the right, left, and all that stuff. You don't hear a lot of these people ever talking about Freemasonry. Even the people who talk about Satanism, they don't really even understand a lot of this stuff. You know, maybe they'll do stuff on SRA, satanic ritual abuse, and don't understand. I'm not going to say that I'm the world's greatest expert on anything, because I'm not. But Freemasonry is, you know, all of these people in these secret societies are rooted in Freemasonry. You know, they're not just walking up the road and going, hey, where do I get into one of these cults that do this stuff to kids and drink blood? Right? And I'm not saying that they drink blood in Freemasonry. Okay? The rituals and all those things are out there, but it's a networking process where you're tested out. You learn all the things that they want you to learn, all of the, you know, the ideologies that they want you to have, right? And then you grow throughout it as you grow in the ranks. Some people just join and don't do anything. Some people join and they go there and have beer and they never get past the 3rd degree. And some are so naive and stupid, they go through it and might end up even being like a 30-degree Freemason. They don't even realize that they're worshiping Lucifer, but I mean, even though it's in fine print that they do, they still think that this, you know, they have to, remember, they have to believe in a God, not the God of the Bible, right? And then they find out Lucifer's the light bearer and all this other crap. So anyway, the fact that Trump's standing next to this guy and supporting this guy, you think he'd be like, oh no, you know, it'd be like him, to me that's like him standing next to Hillary Clinton. And you say, oh, that's ridiculous just because the guy's a Freemason. Well, this guy's definitely a high-ranking Freemason, right? He is the, what did I say his title was? The VP of National Border Patrol Union. And you see how all these positions in Congress, all of these things that you never would hear of, these jobs, they're all set up for these people. They're handed these jobs, right? And then they tell you what their background's in, and we're supposed to believe all this crap. These positions are set up for them. How come, why do you think, this guy, Vice President National Border Patrol, right? You think he grew up and he was like, what do you want to be, Tom? Oh, I want to be a football player. How about you? I want to be an actor. What about you, Art? I want to be on the National Border Patrol, preferably the Vice President. Oh, wow. Nobody even knows this is a job, right? That's for a reason. They want to keep everybody in the matrix striving for these jobs that are hopeless dead ends, that have what behind it? Fame and money, right? Because they have everybody out there worshiping false idols. So, oh, they want to be an actor. They want to be a football player. They want to be a this. They want to be a that. Right? Why do you think that is? Because they tell you that these are the jobs you're supposed to want. You don't ever meet somebody who wants to be the National Border Patrol Vice President. That hasn't happened to me. I think of all the other ridiculous government jobs where it's like, oh yeah, this guy's an official for this, and he's in control of that. And you just be like, how do you even, where do you go to school to get that job? Is there a school for becoming the Border Patrol? Oh, is the school Freemasonry? Of course it is. All these guys who know their role and know the protocol are put in these spots. Trump knows that. Trump's not up there going, oh, a Mason guy. I mean, Trump's a Jesuit. I mean, what more do we need to get into? You get Art up there wearing the pin, and then when you're supposed to turn to, you know, all of these, you know, these people who claim to be like alt-right media, right, or journalists, which is just, I think it's just pretty hilarious that people tag themselves journalists. It's like, isn't anyone a journalist now? I mean, all you got to do is like, you know, do a little research on something that makes you a journalist. With these alt-right guys who got planted here a couple years ago, right, who are obviously a lot linked to InfoWars and this other nonsense out there that pushes the left-right paradigm, which keeps everybody stuck inside of the matrix. You don't hear them saying anything ever about Freemasonry, right? Don't hear them saying anything about any of the secret societies, right? They might say Illuminati because they know it's a trigger word, but just like they won't talk about Bagelville, right? They won't talk about, you know, these people who are really responsible for September 11th. They won't talk about them. They won't talk about Freemasonry. Right? They might bring up Satanism, but it's a broad term, right? Because again, when people think of Satanism, now they're looking at the Satanic Temple and Lucine Graves and all these guys who come out on TV and speak for the Satanic Temple. They're looking at them, right? They're not realizing that these guys are just figureheads for, you know, what the Luciferians who really do, you know, the stuff. And these guys might do it too. I don't know, right? But no one's talking about these, you know, these secret groups. And they're openly, you know, this is why it's so important to look for signs and symbols, right? Because most people probably wouldn't have noticed this in the past. But there's so many people who are awake now, they can see this and point it out and go, look, he's openly wearing this Masonic badge. You know, and then you just start thinking of things. If you just start thinking to yourself, how do you even get a position like this? And what a coincidence, it's the biggest topic that there really is out there, right? I mean, I know they have all this crap going on with the government shutdown, all this stuff it's just more fear-mongering crap, right? So they throw that at you. But the wall itself is like the big thing, right? Everyone's like, oh, he's Donald Trump's a racist and all. You know, and this guy's prominently positioned here to say how he supports Trump and we need the wall, and he's wearing this stupid little pin. I wonder if like he's wearing his like bib underneath there, right? He's probably like afterwards gonna go backstage with a blindfold on, not do the Bird Box challenge, but put a blindfold on. Someone hold a sword up to his throat as he bends over in his underwear. Oh, what am I talking about? Well, this is stuff Freemasons do. This is just normal initiation practices for these guys, right? I mean, make sure you're not wearing your underwear's clean at least. The people are gonna get a view up there, right? I mean, that's what everyone wants to do, right? If you wanted to join a club out there, you're like, hey, I need a hobby. I need to get out more, right? Maybe you got a wife and she says, or vice versa. You know, you got a wife, she says, girlfriend, you got to do more, right? And you're like, I don't know, man. I mean, what's there to do? And they say, well, why don't you join something? Join a team, rec basketball. Join a group or an organization, right? And you're like, okay, I guess I can look into it, right? Is he expecting that on the third day or whatever of his joining the club that he's going to be blindfolded with a sword up to his throat? I mean, is this normal behavior? Now, why do you think they use tactics like that and death threats, right? That's one of the constant things in Masonry. Remember, I talked about the vow of silence, the oath of secrecy? This is all Masonic stuff, where the celebrities always have shh tattooed on their finger, and they're always holding the finger over their mouth, telling people to be quiet. It's not because they're watching a movie and they're saying, be quiet, I'm trying to listen, right? It's a vow of silence, the oath of silence, of secrecy that they all take. So they do these initiation practices where they literally are threatened to death, they fake death, because this is all how mind control works. And these people who are initiated store this into their head. And then, of course, as they grow through Freemasonry and maybe into other secret societies and covens and satanic cults and all this other crap, then they just get blackmailed flat out because they have to participate in these things that would get them locked up for the rest of their lives if people actually knew, or get these people run out. I mean, they'd be run out of every country. They'd be done. I can't say what really happened to them because someone will probably find it, but I mean, that wouldn't be good. You know? See, like these people are drinking blood, cannibals, and all this kind of crap. Right? So that's why they take a vow of silence. So, again, for people out there, they want to say, well, Trump doesn't know who he is, and he's just up there. I get, people want to say that, and they want to keep believing, and that's fine. You want to keep believing that Donald Trump is handpicked by God. You're allowed to do that. Okay? We're allowed to agree to disagree because we understand overall that there is a new world order behind things. And if you don't want to believe he's a participant, I don't understand how, because I don't understand how people think that they allow us to elect. They control everything except that, right? Control everything, but then when it comes time for the election, they're like, all right, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers are just, they're at Burger King, and they're like, I guess, it's going to be a tough year because the people are going to vote in the president, and then, we got to deal with it, man. Even though, like, we control money and resources and everything else, and oil, and everything, pretty much that runs and control all the resources, right? We're going to let them pick. Yeah, I don't think that that's exactly how it works, but that's just my take on it. So, you get Trump up there with with Art, the Freemason, the VP of Border Patrol, the dream job that everybody always wanted that Art got and we didn't. And now Art's standing in playing his role, which is how all these Masons and all these people work, right? They're all placed in these spots to play the game, and these people are the real actors out there. You think you're watching like an act when you're watching George Clooney in a movie, right? They tell you it's like some craft and no one can do it. Anyone can really do it. I mean, if they really want, whatever. Point being, these are the real actors out there. I'm the VP of Border Control. Oh, what do you do on a day-to-day? Can you give me your 9-to-5 rundown? Are you just outside staring at a fence? Is that what you're doing? Right? You're staring at you're standing around drawing up architecture for the wall that's going to be built. What are you doing? Right? Oh, when people come in and cross the border, they come to you, they get detained. Right. And that's the job you strive for. How did you get positioned here? Well, I went to school to be something none of us have ever heard of. And then he networked around and worked in the CIA for a little while and ended up there. oh, and then we just all have to go, okay, he sounds pretty legit. Yeah, the pin's enough to give it away from me. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.